Hi, I'm Seann Parcker. I'm a life skills coach, behavior self-awareness coach. Live in Vancouver, British Columbia. I've had the opportunity and the blessing to be able to work with over 3,000 people over the last few years, one-on-one, in relationships, in families, in businesses, and in workshops. And regardless of whether I'm working with an individual or a group, it all comes back to one thing, and that's relationships. The most important thing that we have in our lives, the thing we look back at, I believe, at the end of this journey, is not the things that we acquired, but the relationships that we had. And like building a house, everything needs a foundation. And the foundation of all relationships is the one that you have with yourself. All relationships begin with the one that you have with yourself. What I do is a thing called transformative education. And to try and explain that, as we go through our lives, we develop these patterns or behaviors that we repeat over and over again. And we do that in our relationships. If we're unhappy or successful or unsuccessful, if we are rejected or accepted, we have patterns and behaviors that we use. And when we use them over and over repeatedly, it's like we throw ourselves on autopilot, cruise control. And what happens when we do this over and over again is we create this box, this thing that we live in. And we don't have to think about how we're doing what we're doing, or how we're creating what we're receiving, or how we're getting the consequences we're getting. I've heard before in people who are dissatisfied in relationships, oh, all guys are jerks. Well, all guys aren't jerks. What's happened is you've created a pattern or behavior a self-fulfilling prophecy that you've created, that the guys that you bring into your life, they are jerks. Or if they're not, you create situations where the only way they can react is they appear to be jerks. So what I do with transformative education is I ask questions or create thoughts that the only way that you can come up with an answer or solve the problem or wrap your head around it is to step outside of that box you've created. Once you've stepped outside of that box, those things, those beliefs that you think are true, once you've stepped away from those, then you see the potentials, all the possibilities that have always been there around you, but you couldn't see because you were on autopilot. What I hope to do over the next series of videos is to ask those questions, create those potentials, to give you the opportunity to see things in a way that perhaps you haven't seen them before. Once I can get you to step outside of that box, I can begin to give you tools, skills, things to create the potential that you always knew were there, but for some reason you couldn't seem to grab hold of them. So over the next little while, if there's things you would like to ask, or there's questions you have, or situations you'd like me to sort of discuss, put them in the comments. Don't forget to like me or subscribe to my channel. Over the next little while, I'm looking forward to changing your lives as much as I've changed my own and the people who I've been able to come in contact with. So I look forward to hearing from you, and let's move forward together.